Food prices are still at elevated levels, but traffic in most urban centers has not returned to pre-pandemic levels, so small restaurants still face some challenges. Peter Mamas is CEO of Foodtastic, which operates franchises of dozens of well-known brands, from Milestones to Second Cup. Peter, thanks for being with us.
No, thank you for having me.
Let's start with a read on the health of the business, because you have this frontline view of so many different factors. How are the restaurants doing overall?
Restaurants are pretty resilient. I mean, our traffic is down, and we're facing a lot of headwinds in tariff inflation. But overall, I think the industry is working through these.
We definitely, the range of brands in your portfolio is pretty wide. Are you seeing a difference between different types of restaurants? From you've got the quick serve, you've got sit-down restaurants. Which ones are actually faring better right now?
Yeah, so at the beginning of the year, it was more the quick service that was doing better. I figure in the last 8 weeks, with the patios opening up, the full-service restaurants have eclipsed that, and they're starting to post some positive same-store sales numbers. So we're kind of excited about that.
You are a business that actually acquires other businesses, Second Cup being one of the most well-known Canadian brands, but you've also got hosts of others in your portfolio, including Freshii. Is it fair to say that when you're kind of acquiring that brand, it might be because it's run into some trouble? What do you see in the brands that's different than what the previous owners were working with?
Yeah, that's a good point. So we look for brands that we think we could improve, whether it's the food or the service. And I think Second Cup and Milestones are two great examples of that. When we took over Second Cup, it was in a decade of decline. We took it over. We fixed the food portion. We made our beverages more premium and a little bit better quality. And on top of that, we rebranded Second Cup completely. And we've stopped the decline of stores, and we're actually opening 20 new locations now every year. And Milestones is the same kind of success story, in the sense that it was also in the decline. And we actually remodeled it. We fixed the menu. We changed all our marketing. We brought the brand to Quebec and to Nova Scotia. And we're opening some new stores in Coquitlam and in Whistler.
One of the challenges in this whole space has been on the labor side, certainly through pandemic. That was a massive challenge. Have you worked through that? We've heard a lot about young people not being able to find work. Can they find them in your restaurants?
Yeah, they can. I think what happened also is you heard a lot of that a few weeks ago, but the weather didn't help that situation. So usually we bring a lot of students in, especially when our patios open, because if you look at our full-service restaurants, we're probably increasing capacity by about 30% during the patio season. But we had such a bad spring and the beginning of the summer that it was really cold, so we didn't really go on that hiring spree. Right now we're at full staff, so we've opened up a lot of spots for these students.
That is good news. Peter, so good to have you for this. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much.
Peter Mamas is CEO of Foodtastic. Time for the takeaway and moving fast and breaking things. Canada's federal government is committed to big projects. How do we know? Well, because they've told us so. Meetings with the provinces so far have been aimed at making lists of priority projects, and the recently passed Bill C-5, or the One Canadian Economy Act, is the tool the feds will use to get things done. Those things might include new pipelines or other big infrastructure projects, from ports to electricity transmission, new clean energy initiatives, or Arctic infrastructure. We'll hear soon what the first priorities will be, but we've already heard some of the objections to the sweeping powers of Bill C-5, most loudly from Indigenous and climate groups, who worry that speed will trump other concerns. There's no doubt that speed is part of the point here. Canada has vast resources it could have been developing for years, including conventional oil and gas, as well as newer resources like critical minerals. Now those projects will be sped up, streamlining processes that have made waits of many years the standard and arguably made the projects less attractive to investors. Part of that time was spent in consultation with groups that include local communities, environmental agencies, and of course, First Nations. The question ahead is how Canada will combine speed and efficiency with those consultations. After all, this isn't China, where massive infrastructure projects spring up seemingly overnight. Canada has a robust legal framework when it comes to the rights of First Nations here. Squaring this circle may well be the most complex task the federal government faces. How it does it may define the culture it plans to advance. Will it be one of inclusion with all of its messy, lurching progress? Or will it be one of authority, where the central power in Ottawa makes the call and the rest of us toe the line? There are arguments to be made for both. My takeaway? Moving fast can mean breaking things, but it works when you move fast on your failures too, and then move on to the solution. That's Taking Stock for this week. I'm Amanda Lang. Thanks for being with us.